Is that the one is this the one I wanted? Oh, here it is. Can you see my screen? No.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
we
the
can see your
Department of
screen.
Animal Services.
Oh, you
Yeah,
can.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah, we see your screen. I see your screen.
I got it.
This is an email from the Riverside Shelter. It's an old email, but we get emails from at least like about a dozen shelters every day. They send it out every day. They send a list. This particular list isn't as long as the other ones, but if you look here, red status 72 hours. What's happening is the shelters are so packed, and these dogs, if they were not rescued, would be euthanized. It's 72 hours is like that's the end of the road for them. And because they're melting down in the shelters. They're just having a hard time. I'm having a hard time after so many years of looking at these emails. It's just, oh my God. Sometimes, if I know we don't have room, I just don't even open the emails. I send them to the trash because it wears on you. Then on Facebook, you have groups like this. There are groups for different zip codes or for different breeds. This 209 is the Stockton area. And so here's a dog that needs a home. I don't even know what this is. Uh, they have 22 more dogs waiting for their turn. I don't know whose dogs these were, but maybe it's rescue. I don't know. Um, and these particular, I don't have to go to 209. Like each one of these posts, when they're posted, they'll come up in my feed. Oh, this is the saddest one right here. There's a car coming, and these puppies were just left on the road with some food and water. That's it. That's their only chance. Tan Chihuahua couldn't get there fast enough. Last but not least that I want to show you is America's favorite dog, the French Bulldog. There's this page. Can you still see that?
Yep.
I just got a message that said my internet was restored. So this is an odd kind of page, but it's for lost and found Frenchies. Most of them are found. So they're either at a shelter or at someone's house. This is so sad. This dog has bad eyes. Cliff, what do you think of those eyes? Is that dry eye?
I can't really see it well enough on my screen. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. See, this is the kind of thing Cliff would look at and know what to do. This one has 3 days and then he'll be euthanized. Um, you know, and it goes on. See, this dog jumped into their car. You can tell she was a mom. She probably just finished nursing puppies. Look at that baby. You know? Oh, this dog, look at this. Found in an empty field, left with a bag of food and a crate. So that's that's the reality of every day for many years. There's no mechanism in for compassionate fatigue and rescue. Um, but also, like as I sit here and I think we're going through a big change with the rescue, and I'm not quite sure where it all will end up. But what can I do? What can I do? And that's where homegrown came from. The thought of being able to reach out to people and give them help before they dump their dog or take it to a shelter. Okay. For example, Cliff, the woman texted me, she texted me today from Sonoma County. It's like, my dog has an abscess on her neck, and do you help people go to the vet financially? Do you give financial aid? And I wrote back, I said, no, but you know, are you putting compresses on it? And she said yes. And I said, okay, good. Um, take a picture, send me a picture. And then I asked her if she had medication. And then I sent a question over to Cliff because um, she had some expired meds and I didn't know if they were still, you know, if they were still good to use. And so I asked him. And you know what? Like that woman didn't have the money to go to the vet. So if she didn't have someone to talk to, the dog would languish or they would just get rid of the dog. And a lot of people get rid of dogs. What was the name of that tan Frenchie that just got adopted, RT? Buddy? No.
Buddy. Buddy.
But okay. And his family had him for at least 5 years, but his ears had gotten so bad, the infection, they couldn't get it under control. And the vet told them they might need that surgery to where they remove the ear canals. And they just said, we can't afford it anymore. And they gave up this wonderful dog. And I told them, I said, send me the medical records, you know, let me look at it. And I even sent the records to Dave and I said, what do you think about this? Because if Dave said it needs ear surgery, then I probably would have declined the dog. We can't afford that. But he said, there's a good chance we can fix it, but maybe not. And so, you know what? We brought the dog in. He's been to the vet. He's had his ears treated, what, twice, RT? And he's been put on prednisone, and now he's okay.
Oh,
And they
wow.
had a vet that was okay, but that just wasn't as on top of something like that as our vets were. So every day I get calls. Cliff, you remember, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we did that ear surgery for a dog too, if you remember.
what was it?
The gentleman who had adopted the dog, God, really sweet guy. And we knew that one of the ears was likely to require
That's
that
right.
surgery.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And
And
I don't remember if he did the second one or just realized that by doing the first one, the
we
dog
got
had a better quality.
we did the first one at Mission Pet, didn't we? I don't remember who paid for it, but Mission Pet Dave had never done that surgery before, and so he offered to do it for us for $2,000, which was well below what it would have cost.
Right.
Yeah.
We're all in the,
Uh-huh.
when you showed that first list of dogs that were all what we used to call at the pound,
Critical 72 hour. Uh-huh.
right? And they all had, they were all listed as red behavior red. And you said they
Yeah.
were not adjusting to their environment, their new environment, which makes total sense to me. What does that mean, behavior red? And I'm curious if part of what you're trying to do now is help people figure out how to deal with some of these behavioral issues, how to communicate with their dogs so they
Yeah.
don't end up in shelters. But is that what that behavior red means on that listing that you showed?
Cliff might know the term better than I do. What I understand it to mean is that the dogs are the kennel stress, the stress of being in that kennel
Right,
is having a really bad effect on them behaviorally. They're melting.
right,
Yeah, I think that's just kind of their general term for we don't think this dog is, you know, behaviorally ideal. And, you know, and it probably runs the whole gamut from really minor stuff to really major stuff.
right,
And you know, as we probably have all done this before, where you take a dog out of the shelter that they thought was just horrific and turns out to be fine once it's out of prison.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
right. With all the noise and the unfamiliar environment and
right,
where are my people, where are my
right,
puppies,
right.
whoever, all of it, all of it, all of it.
some
So,
shelters have volunteers that can take the dogs out and walk them. More shelters are trying to do play groups, but there are
right,
shelters where those dogs just sit in there 24/7. That's
right, right,
they can come in good and then they erode. And
right,
I'm seeing this verbiage and shelter emails. It's not fair to the dogs to let them live like this.
right. Well,
Yeah.
So what are you hoping to do with this group, with this presentation that you're,
Well, not today, but yeah, it's going to take a little time. What I want
sure,
to do is to set up a network of people. We're going to be videotaping these,
uh,
putting them on our webpage, and we're going to, uh, the goal is to help give people some ideas and tips and resources before they dump the dog or before they take the dog to the shelter.
right,
Me,
right, right. And it's not prohibitively expensive.
you know what? It's free.
Exactly.
People can give a donation if they can, and if not, it's free because
So your idea is that people can tune in on this and then they can say, hey, I got a question. My dog does this weird thing when my cousin comes over or my little nephew. What could I do about that? My dog pees on my husband's leg every time.
Good dog.
sometimes you need more time to talk with people, you know.
Right,
Some Cliff, sometimes it's an easier fix and sometimes it isn't. Jamie, can you
sure.
tell us really quickly, or tell us about your little monster dog from hell? And Arati's going to show the video that you sent me today.
Yeah, he's the worst. I love him to death, but I think he's turning 6 this December, 6 or 7. He's a little Chihuahua, mini poodle mix named Barry that I've had since he was, I think, 5 months old. And my understanding of his background was his mom and grandmother were found after the Paradise Fires in Santa Rosa. Um, and when she was taken in, actually by Wonder Dog, they found that Barry and several siblings were in mom's belly, and so I got him. He was with a wonderful, wonderful foster mom. And when I got him at 5 months, he was kind of a sweetheart, and then he became agoraphobic, like legitimately would not go outside, was incredibly anxious, very afraid, like the sounds of birds would freak him out. Um, and he started having some, I think his behaviors called it conflict aggression too, towards my kids and my husband and anybody who was anywhere near me, basically. Um, and over
Conflict
time,
aggression. I've never heard
yeah.
that. What does that mean, I wonder?
So the way she described it to me, and Linda, I think you probably have another term for it, as you and I have talked about Barry at length. Um, he's not aggressive. I mean, this is probably true of all dogs. He's not aggressive because he's angry or doesn't like the person. He's aggressive because he's conflicted. He doesn't know what to do. He's under stress or trying to resource guard. And he shows behavior of like being a little aggressive and then immediately turning around and running away and hiding because I'm not to anthropomorphize him, but I feel like he feels kind of conflicted and bad about what he's just done. Um, but over time, he's gotten much better. But what Linda and I have been talking about very recently is the incredible nuisance of him peeing in my house. So I don't think, I was never able to get him completely potty trained. And in the last year, he'll go out for a walk and then he'll come inside and he'll mark somewhere in the house. And it's been really, really difficult to deal with. And Linda, do you want me to talk about how you helped me solve that problem?
Yeah, and just mention what happened when you put a belly band on him.
Yeah,
Oh,
so thankfully, right, boy dogs, you can easily belly band. I used to go to the store where Cliff was to get them actually. Um, but because he's a highly anxious, not trusting kind of a little chihuahua, when I ask him to come, he runs away. Like he knows something is happening. And when he doesn't have a belly band on and I try to make any moves toward him, he goes and he runs under the couch. Like he knows legitimately what's going on. And so I was talking to Linda about it when we were handing off Wally, and I was joking, like, well, do you want to take Barry too? And we were talking about, like, if I had to stack rank the issues, really the main issue at that point was the fact that, like, I've given up on trying to potty train him, but at the very least, can I keep a belly band on him? And it was this whole process that we'd have to go through over the course of the day. And by the time I could get a band on him, he'd already peed somewhere in the house. So in talking through it with Linda, her suggestion was very straightforward, which is, well, why don't you try to desensitize him a little bit to it? Why don't you try and give him some treats? Why don't we take, the approach of, ask him to touch, which were all things that he learned in puppy school. He knows how to come, he knows how to sit, he knows how to touch, he's highly treat motivated. But for whatever reason, I'd never really thought to put all of those things together. And so I spent maybe 10 minutes with this dog that has been driving me crazy for years. Asked him to, told him that there were treats. He came over. I put his brother in another room. Asked him to touch my hand a couple times, gave him treats, asked him, grab the belly band, asked him to touch it, and he would touch it with his nose. So I just reinforced that for quite some time. And then I asked him to touch it, then asked him to sit, and then threw treats on the floor, and then put the belly band on him, and then did that over and over and over again. And it was it was solved in an afternoon, and now it's absolutely no problem. He's excited about it. If I could have taken a better video, you would have been able to see him probably running like a mad dog, trying to get up and put the belly band on, which is something that I never envisioned ever being able to see that. And it's really been a real game changer for me and for my feelings about him. As a person who's committed to having him for the rest of his damned life, having him not be in my house makes it
We're
a
going
little
to work
more
on the other
enjoyable.
stuff too. Dorothy,
I've been very grateful for that, for sure. What's that?
Oh, I asked Artie to show the video that you sent me today.
Oh yeah, it's a funny one. He's a cutie. Oh, there he is.
Yes.
Oh. Oh boy.
Wow, isn't that so great? So can I ask a question? Is he peeing in the belly band?
Oh
Or
yeah.
he pees in it?
Yeah,
Is he trying to mark still? But he's peeing on
I think
himself,
so.
basically.
Yeah.
Wow, fascinating. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Julie, I can speak for you, and I can speak for Cliff and Gwen and myself, and we've been around dogs and have worked with them with this concept of reshaping the behavior and using positive reinforcement. So they, in the pet store, like you guys have it mastered, It's always an experience to go in that store. But that's it, changing the way a person sees the issue or the problem and setting it up a little bit differently. Uh, it's not always going to work. It's going to depend on the people. They're going to have to want to put a little energy into it. But so many people, they're weeping to give up their animals. They don't want to do it. And that's why I want to start this. I'm not going to be able to do it all by myself. It's like every week I will take, no, I know I'm going to need help, and I'm going to want to help. I'm going to want help. And I want to tell you something. It'll be one of our secret weapons. Because we're a nonprofit, we have something called free Google ads. Okay. We get it's $400 a month to the people who maintain it for us. I could never do it myself, but we get up to $10,000 a month in free advertising on Google. And I can call Jolene and I can say, I want, let's do ads for Homegrown Wisdom. As soon as the web page is up, that's the next step. And she will craft some ads and show them to me. And we're going to make ads that'll be geared toward people that need help, and it'll take it to the page and they can contact us and we'll match them up with someone or do or talk to them online or whatever to help them get what they need. And the Google ads are fabulous because we can put them in all 50 states. I can talk to her and I can say, this ad, I want you to run it in all of California. I don't think we're ready to run this in the United States yet, but as soon as we have a few more people set up to help, you know, I'm ready to do it because the need is so dire, it's so desperate. And that's why I really think this is going to take off and succeed because we'll have the ability to reach out without spending any money. This program doesn't cost anything. It takes people, it takes time. That's all. So this is very close to my heart too. It's very close to my heart. I don't know how long I'll be able to physically handle the rigors of rescue, but this I can do. And thanks to Gwen Williams, who's sitting there in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. Hi, Gwenny. I talked to Gwen. It's like, Gwen, I think maybe I should become a trainer and I can. She's like, Linda, you have so many skills. Tell them what you told me, Gwen.
Oh God, I'd have to paraphrase. We've had so many conversations.
Yeah.
But a lot of this was, go with what rests in your heart. It was like, you can do so much stuff. You have so much knowledge and skills that are surrounding animals, but go with what you like. And Linda likes to give advice, and Linda knows how to give advice. And Linda has that background. I'm talking about you in third person now, but she's got this phenomenal background. Just, I've adopted, however you want to praise it, pre-owned dogs from Linda, so many. And they honestly, one time she literally laughed at me. She goes, I never thought you'd take that one. And just laughed. I walked out the door and I was like, yep, I have a 17-year-old Chihuahua. She's 4 pounds. She's the bossiest little
Fern.
my God, Fern. And I had Fern for 4.5 years. So she was technically like 21, 22 died. I'd never had a Chihuahua before, bossiest little thing. But, and Linda just laughs. And she knows me so well that she's like, that one's not going to work for you. And I'm like, okay. And I just go with it because she literally has so much knowledge and knows me that you're like, I just trust her. At a certain point, you trust people that know and have that innate skill. And Linda has this innate skill to match people and dogs really, really well. And she can also steer you away from dogs that don't work for you. I mean, based on personality and style of life and whatnot. But, I have, come here, mommy. I have this. Come here, come here.
Am I gonna get to see my man?
Yes. I have like, oh my God, this little beast. Come here, turn around.
Look
This
at him.
probably like my 7th or 8th dog with Linda, but this is Momers.
Oh,
He
oh,
is the epitome
Oh,
of
named him
a
Cosmo.
sweet gentleman with fish
How
eyes.
old is he now? 13?
No, he's turning 14.
Okay.
Ah, but he's such a good boy. He's so athletic and so slim. But I gotta say, when I got him, I was like, he's one of the youngest ones I've adopted from you, Linda. And she's like, what? And I think I got him when he was 11, turning 12. He is amazing. But each time I get a dog, there's a different set of issues. And you know the most about what you know based on the prior dog history you have. And this is one, I've never had a dog with PTSD. So he is significant PTSD, just out of the blue somewhere. He just screams and scurries away. And it's heart wrenching. But Linda helped me with him tremendously to figure out what was going on. And, we manage it every day, but every day is an event with this guy. But he's such a sweet little beast. And he's so kind. And again, he's probably like the 7th or 8th dog I've acquired from Linda.
So handsome. Not just from me, but from Wonder Dog, and it's a group. It takes a village.
It
And
is.
and I feel like Homegrown is going to have to grow organically from within the circle of people that are close to Wonder Dog. Because I want other people, I'm not the only one with smarts, and Cliff's not the only one that knows more than me. You still do.
Yeah.
I emailed
And
you.
our combined knowledge adds up to, oh yeah, not much.
When did you own the Berkeley Vivarium?
Oh, I left in 2002. Throughout the 90s.
First time I met Cliff, they came over to my house and I had chameleons, and the one guy had a bad tail. He's like, and Cliff goes and says, "Hey, you want me to amputate that tail for you?"
With my teeth?
I
Yeah.
didn't even know you. I want to see, I would love to see just a small core group of people that help to advise the formation of this. I can handle the advice giving. Cliff, if you have time, I know you can. Gwen, I know that there are things you can do. And you too, Arati, you're learning every day. Um, yeah, yeah. So that's all I got. Are there any questions? Yes, that is all I have.
Where's the donuts?
Oh,
Where
they're
are
in
the
the other room.
donuts?
Okay, no donuts. You know I'm out of here.
See, you're a great businesswoman. What do you think? You know, I never think like a business person.
Me?
Yeah,
Uh,
you're.
well, I mean, I don't think you're really doing this as a business. I think you're doing it out of the generosity of your heart.
I
And
am, and I'm doing that with the awareness that it can become an income generating
yeah,
project over time.
yeah. I mean, you're
But in the here and now, that's
well, it's
when I
growing. It's
started.
growing
That's
it. I mean, the thing is, you want to grow a business. So, and I think that's what you're looking at here.
Mhm.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea to offer support to people I mean, this can be national, it can be international. There aren't really any borders to it.
There aren't one.
There aren't really any borders to it. The fact that you're doing it digitally,
And
it's
there,
not like everybody has to live in Buffalo to
that's right.
participate. So that's a big plus. And then I think it's getting the word out.
You know, and my goal is to send people to be able to talk about nutrition or have Cliff talk about nutrition and to send people to the animal house because you guys know that so well. Or if it's someone in the Bay Area or in San Francisco with a behavior issue, to direct them your way. And that's why I want it to be more of an inner circle. I don't want people to think, oh, I'm going to build my clientele, because that's not what it's about. So
Right.
I hope it all makes sense.
Yeah, we'll see when we try.
Are you on
Exactly.
board, Mr. Mosier?
I'm sorry?
I said, are you on board, Mr. Mosier?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I also just got a message that I'm going to be going in a couple minutes. So,
It's okay. That's okay. I really believe in this project. I really believe in it. I got a how can I help Instagram message from a bulldog person that has like 67,000 followers, and they foster dogs, and they saw one of our posts, and I just think it's going to catch on. And I want to be able to round the people up and to get us ready to be able to answer. We can put stuff, we can make videos. I mean, we could make a video how to keep your dog from pulling. Don't ask me to do it with Wally, but Wally doesn't pull when I take him by himself. But we could make videos like that, you know, how to get your dogs, even simple things that you don't have to, people don't think that they can watch a video and learn. They're like, oh, I can't afford to go to class. Or they'll call and say, my dog is resource guarding. And wow, what do we do? You know,
Do you want to have a form that people can fill out and submit questions?
that's a good idea, actually. Yeah. Yeah,
And then you could address the questions.
yes. And we're going to, these are gonna be recorded and they're gonna be put on YouTube so that people can, you know, we can, excuse me, we can refer someone, that's the mushroom coffee. We can refer someone back to a particular video where we were discussing that.
Right, right. Yeah, I think you're gonna build up a library of knowledge and reference for people to be able to access. And I think ultimately your goal is to save lives.
Yes, yes,
So
to help people find a bridge before the dog.
feeling so desperate.
You know what? I talk to people, I was like, I just can't bear to send him to the shelter. And I'll say he's probably going to be euthanized. And if the dog has some weird behavior, I'll say to the person, don't give this dog away to someone. You're going to do that. The dog's going to act up and they're just going to let it go. They're not going
Right.
to keep the animal. What I would recommend, what you really ought to do is have a trainer come over and evaluate the dog because they can maybe tell you how to fix it, but then also the person can articulate, my dog has barrier frustration, my dog is resource guarding, or separation anxiety or something like that. And I'll tell people, they want to rehome the dog. And I'll say, this training will help you to work with this dog. You know who's the perfect example of this? That Boston that just got adopted recently. Not the Napa dog. What was his name? The Juanito. Juanito.
Juanito.
Okay. She had that dog for a year and a half. They rescued a whole litter and they were Boston's and they rehomed all of them and they kept Juanito and he was the problem child. And she's having a baby, so she needed to let the dog go. But we kind of worked together in tandem. And I talked to her for a long time about behavior, found out what she was doing. She took what she could get from me and the dog just got home. So,
Nice.
Cool.
yeah.
Well, listen, gang, I'm sorry, I'm just have to head out. So
Yeah, you're just leaving because
wonderful
you
to
had
almost.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, how
It was
about that?
so good to see you.
About that, exactly.
Yeah, this is like all pre-pandemic. Good Lord.
Here if you need a place to stay, okay?
Pre and post.
Buffalo's nice.
Thanks. Okay. See you guys later. If I can figure out now, I got to figure out how to get the hell out of here, right?
Oh,
How do we?
Down on the bottom, leave the
all right.
meeting.
Lower right-hand side, there's a little guy walking through a door.
That's you,
What?
Glyph.
Exactly. I guess it is.
Just click on that.
What happened to?
Maybe he won't be able
Or you
to.
can just close your computer.
It's true. I'll just do that.
And we'll be gone. We'll be gone when you open it.
Easy. That's
Julie,
like doing that years ago. Okay. See y'all. Love you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Julie, do you have any thoughts? Oh, guider of the mysteries.
Okay, sorry, I had to unmute. Nope, I don't have any thoughts at this time. You're doing great. Keep on going the way you're going.
Okay. Well,
Exactly.
counterfeiting money too now. So we're all good. I'm gonna pay everyone in cash. All right.
Well,
Thank you.
congratulations, Linda. I think this is a marvelous first step.
Did
Second
you do a
step.
screenshot of everyone, Artie? You did. Look at her. She's wonderful.
Head and curve.
Amy, thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can't tell you, I cried nearly cried when I saw that video. She sent me a text 3 days after I told her what to do. And the text says, what are you, some fucking witch? And
That's true.
it. I mean, I loved it. You know what? I can get too isolated, so I live for these moments. Maybe I have to come back to San Francisco. Thank you.
Oh, that'd be great.
We'll email you and we'll tell you what some of the next steps are. I want your suggestions. You know things that I don't, how do we build a list of committed people? And somebody might say, yeah, I can give 1 hour a week. Or they can answer emails 1 hour a week, And so if people are emailing me, like one family called me once se habla español. I said, no, se habla inglés. No, but then and I thought they lost their dog and they didn't know how to find their dog. Momentito. Okay. That's like, hold on a minute. I went online to Sonoma County Shelter. I gave them the phone number of the Sonoma County Shelter. They texted me about an hour and a half later and they said, our dog was there. Thank you so much.
Oh, good.
Oh,
It's that simple. It's just so simple. Not always, but a lot of it is really simple. So thank you.
You know what?
Okay.
It's a really good point. Like those basics, like if you lose your dog, like what to do if you lose your dog, boom, boom, boom. Maybe that goes on a Wonder Dog post every once in a while with your homegrown tag. Something like that is just a reminder. Hey, it's getting hot out. Check the pavement before you walk your dog.
Yeah, take your
Like-
shoe off, take your sandal off and touch the ground.
Well, exactly. But it's that
You're right.
kind of in the cusp of the season, and remind them, don't leave your dog inside the car. All those moments that are just those reminders that you see outside.
You know what? Well, I took Wally to the park. Already, you know this. I took him to the park, and he's always out of breath on the way home. And I took him about a week ago, and it was 62 degrees, and it was overcast, and he was running and playing. And then he just started panting and panting like he always does. And I looked at his gums, and they were really red. And I thought, well, at least they're not pale. Pale gums, not getting enough oxygen, But he panted all the way home like he usually does. And when I got home, I looked up heat stroke, and one of the big symptoms was red gums. I mean, he was in full heat stroke mode. And
Be-
if I stayed home, I didn't go anywhere, Dogs die from heat stroke. So, you know what? I didn't know red gums were, and now I do. So.
Well, with that little square dog, a little like a stroller might help on the wet walk home.
Oh, I put him in the car with the air conditioning on.
Yeah.
And water.
I mean, because I use a stroller all the time. My dogs can walk, but then it's like they get tired. I just throw them in the stroller.
Oh, that's clever.
Remember your videos. I always look forward to those. All right, I'll email all of you. Arati, do you have a second to hang on? Thank you. Thank you, Jamie.
Yay, nice to see everybody.
Congratulations,
everyone. Congratulations.
Bye.
Thank you, Julie.